My name is Merugu Kaushik, and this year in civil services examination, I've secured 82nd rank. And this is my first attempt at UPSC. And I'll give a brief introduction about my background. Uh, I have completed my civil engineering from Osmania University in 2020, in the year of 2020. And post that, I have done my MBA from Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, Delhi campus, in the year 2022. And after that, I worked for 1 year in Capgemini as a consultant. It was during this 1 year I was preparing for the UPSC examination, and I gave my first attempt in the year 2023. And my optional is sociology. So, in this particular interaction or session, I will try to address some few aspects like what strategy I followed for this particular examination, and also the journey, my personal journey, how various stages of preparation has been for me, like how I started with the preparation and how I went ahead with the preparation. And then I will further go ahead with what are my book list for prelims and then mains, and what I specifically did for prelims and mains. Uh, Along with this, I will also cover some other aspects like how I followed current affairs and how I approached the aspect of answer writing for mains, and also how I approach my optional sociology. And I'll also give a brief introduction about my interview experience and how I prepared for interview as well in the end. So starting with my journey, I started preparing for UPSC in the year 2022, January of 2022, wherein I started with modern history, and then I have prepared for the first 6 months. I was lost and I prepared only for prelims, considering that prelims is the most important stage because it will give me an opportunity to write mains. And after realizing that I'll have to equally prepare for mains as well, I didn't give 2022 attempt, and I started preparing for mains as well as selected my optional sociology, and then gave the 2023 attempt. So I'll start with the prelims aspect, how I approached a general studies paper, and then the current affairs of general studies, as well as the CSAT paper. Firstly, with the general studies, what I did was I have seen topper videos in YouTube, like various topper videos, to understand what prelims is as an examination and what are the resources that are being followed by various toppers for this particular examination. And then I understood that everyone is following pretty much same resources, and from there, after making my own decision of selecting few resources that every other topper suggested, I selected few resources, standard resources, like for modern history. I'll also give the book list for my prelims along with this. For modern history, I have gone with Spectrum. For polity, I have read Lakshmikant. For geography, I have gone with NCERT of class 11th, physical geography of India and world. And then for art and culture, I have read this PDF by an institute called La Excellence, Ready Reckoner. And even for ancient history, I've done the same. For economics, I have read Brunel's Pillar 1, 2, 3, 4, and then directly solved the questions. And I've learned most of my economics part by solving PYQs, and then also solving various prelims test series and doing the reverse engineering way of learning the concepts. And for science and technology, I have read the PT 365 of the last 2 years. That is, when I was giving 2023 attempt, I have read 2023 and 2022 PT 365. That's what I did for science and technology. So these are my major book list, and my strategy was always to put limited resources and to revise these resources multiple times before the prelims. And for general studies, another important thing that I have done was taking multiple mock tests. I'll address this aspect of mock tests at a later point of time. And for CSAT, if I have to say, uh, because I have given my CAT examination fresh, like just 2 years ago, I was not very much into preparing CSAT exclusively, but that was a mistake that I have done, because I have secured only 70 marks in CSAT. That shows that if one or two questions were wrong, I would have not got an opportunity to write mains itself. So I would suggest that for CSAT, one should do adequate practice as well as write more number of mock tests, because I personally did only 3 to 4 previous years CSET mock papers, and I thought that would suffice, but that did not, considering the difficulty is increasing every year. And current affairs for prelims. Uh, my strategy of covering current affairs for prelims was very simple. Like, I would read the monthly magazine of Vision every month since the month of May. um, I would read it whenever it's released. I would sit for 1 or 2 days and completely read it and then revise it in the next month. So I read the current affairs magazines of every month of Vision until from May to February. And when once the PT 365 was released, because PT 365 is a compilation of these monthly magazines, it became easier to complete the PT 365. And then I finally stuck to only PT 365 when I was finally preparing for my prelims examination. And I revised PT 365 multiple times. Like, I read PT of environment, economics, and science and technology, and I've revised each one of them 4 to 5 times. Yeah, my optional is sociology. Yeah. And so what I would suggest is to be, apart from reading the newspapers, one should also follow one current affairs magazines, so that they get used to this way of asking questions also. Uh, so I'll address all these questions in the end. But along with this, if there's any doubt with respect to what I'm saying right now, like prelims, book list, or else the strategy, you can post it. I'll address in between. But the other questions that are generally related to other aspects, I will take it up in the end. Yeah. So when we talk about the test series, because test series was a major part of my prelims preparation, and I have given approximately one entire test series of Vision and full length test of Forum. Like, that would come up to a third 40 tests or approximately. So giving test series is not just enough. What one should also do is, as every other topper says, one should analyze the test series. So what I did for test series was, uh, I would do the examination or the 100 questions in 3 rounds. The first round comprising of those 100% sure questions which I attempted in the first round, and the second round is those questions wherein I marked on the paper itself with a separate symbol like a star or else a circle, which is a 50 percentage. That is, I am eliminating 2 options, but the other 2 options are is a dilemma. So these 50% sure questions I would attempt in the next round, and finally, if wherein the questions where I could only attempt or eliminate one option, I would attempt it in the final round. So what one should do is, they should analyze their accuracy in these various rounds. Suppose if your 100% sure questions are right, then you are doing good revision and you are good with your static, or whatever, 100% sure is right. That shows that you are on the right track. Whereas if your 50% sure questions are also right, that indicates that you are still doing good, because you are able to eliminate 2 options and coming to the right answer. Whereas the wherein options where you're eliminating only one option, that would be considered as a risky game. But still, as you tend to increase your attempt more number of test series, or as you study more, attempt you would be able to attempt more number of uh, questions that are not sure, but you would be able to make them more right. uh, So yeah, one should give approximately 30 to 40 mock tests for prelims is what I personally feel, and the ideal number of attempts is another question that comes keeps coming up. So how do you identify these ideal number of attempts that one should give in prelims? That depends on the accuracy that you're having and the score that you're getting. So if your accuracy is very good, suppose let's say your accuracy is 90%, attempting even 70 questions would suffice. But if your accuracy is on the lower side, you should go for higher number of attempts. But ultimately your target should always be to cross at least 105 to 110, or more than 110 marks in prelims of general studies paper. that will give you more confidence about the final examination as well. So what you do is you start or experiment with the mock test with the different number of attempts. I would always give an attempt of more than 85 questions to 90 questions, because I know with my accuracy to score 100 plus, I should attempt minimum of 85 questions. Yeah. So apart from the test series, another important aspect of a prelims is how do we revise in the last few days. So I personally did this plan wherein I would come from the back, from behind. Like I would select that we have the date of prelims and my revision would be backwards. Like considering uh, only 1 week of time that I have for revising all the subjects just before the prelims, I would remove that 1 week and plan my other revision schedule accordingly, so that I at least revise all the subjects 4 to 5 times before that prelims. So I have started preparing exclusively for prelims in the year February 2022, and I stopped preparing for my mains and general studies and sociology optional. And that's when I would focus only on studying the subjects, static subjects for prelims and current affairs, and giving test series. So giving test series is also was also done by me according to the timing of the examination, that is on Sundays, and that particular time exactly giving the general studies paper in the early morning, wherein we get used to attempting these questions. And I've completed the book list test series, and I'll take up a few questions related to prelims from the questions. Yeah, PYQs is another very important part of prelims preparation, because I solved the 27 years PYQs that's published by Disha Publications. Personally, I felt that was pretty good enough. But what one should do is they should also analyze the peripherals of the topic that is being asked in the question. Like if a question from a president area of polity is being asked, one should revise president thoroughly. And as we solve more PYQs, let's say we have read Polity Lakshmikant 3 or 4 times and started solving PYQs. We would understand that there are only few important areas or very important areas where question is highly likely to be asked. So those areas are those areas where you need to focus more, and you need to make sure that you do not make a mistake at any cost if a question comes from that particular area. And how to analyze them is let's say the analyzing the options is also another important part of PYQs. That is, if an option is being asked or being given in a particular question, even that has some relevance, or just giving a reading about that particular option will also help, because there's high likelihood, if we look at the PYQs, there is highly likelihood that repetition of the areas that are being asked is taking place. So that's the reason why we need to analyze PYQs. And I have personally solved PYQs 3 times. It is important for everyone to solve it at least once, or even more number of times, because we would understand the way in which UPSC is asking questions or the important areas, and this understanding will help us in faster revision or revising of those very important areas, which are the favorite areas of UPSC, let's say. Yeah, for economics part, I have not referred to Mrunal videos or classes as such. I have directly taken his notes that's available in the market, and read it pillar 1, 2, 3, 4. That's because maybe I am from an MBA background, and economics, basic introduction of economics was there for me. That is the reason why I have done it in that way. But if it is being difficult for you, I would suggest you can just look at the videos and then go ahead with it. So yeah, not completing the syllabus, and if one should give an attempt when their syllabus is not complete, is a question any topper would answer in a similar manner, because no one can complete the syllabus in its entirety. And there's no defined syllabus as such for prelims, especially like they can ask anything. But what we can do at best is complete the static part, and those areas where every other person who is likely to clear that particular exam uh, is we do not miss out on questions that every other person solves who is highly likely to clear that particular exam. So what we should do is focus on those standard resources or those areas where questions might be asked. Like polity is one area where 15 13 14 15 questions will be asked. Economics is another area where 14 15 questions will be asked. Similar way environment. So these areas, if we can identify and complete these areas very perfectly, then that would be sufficient instead of focusing on completing a syllabus which is not defined in itself. So that is another difficult part to do, completing the entire syllabus. So for economics part, apart from reading Brunel notes, I've also taken 550 MCQs of Vivek Singh PDF. I found it on Telegram on some channel, and I found it very useful because the MCQs there were very conceptual in nature. Like after reading a particular concept and solving those MCQs gave a deeper understanding of that particular concept. So I have solved even Vivek Singh 550 MCQs 2 to 3 times, and I've made short notes of those confusing concepts or those new dimensions that that particular questions opened up. So in this way, it gave me more confidence with economics. So you can do it for economics, like give a reading of Mrunal notes or any other standard resource that you're referring to, and then solve the PYQs and then mock test questions and do reverse learning if possible, or go in depth to the concepts, because UPSC is generally asking questions on economics based on conceptual understanding and not purely static or definitional based or some kind of questions. It's mostly application oriented or understanding based questions. So apart I'll take the other questions in the end. So for mains, what I did was after my mains preparation was mostly after the prelims. Majority of it was after the prelims, and uh, I have completed GS 1, 2, 3 papers before the prelims, whereas essay, GS 4, and optional paper 2 are after the prelims. So I'll say how I approached identifying the resources and making notes and studying for mains papers. That is, again, I've done the similar thing. What I did was I used to just type in Google or YouTube general studies paper 1 resources for UPSC. And I remember seeing videos of Apala Mishra ma'am and another toppers videos where they clearly explain the resources that they have followed, including showing the books that they have used. So I have seen their videos, and then I have made a book list of my own. Like suppose after seeing their videos, I would just open that particular PDF on online, and I would see if it's bulky in nature of, or if it's doable by me, and then I would select that particular resource accordingly. So for general studies, I'll briefly give my resources that I've followed. For general studies paper 1, what I've done was modern history is just spectrum. I followed spectrum only for modern history general studies paper, whereas for the art and culture part, I've referred to Rishikesh Reddy sir's PDF that I found online. And for the society part, I have referred to notes of Mridul Shivhare sir, and also made my own notes from being from a sociology background. And then for geography, again, I found only as Prahar during the preparation phase very helpful for geography. And even for the other topics, because they have made their notes in a very beautiful manner, because I have found it very late at a stage of my preparation, but I found it very useful for geography part and disaster management part as well. And for general studies paper 2 of mains, that comprises of polity, constitution, and governance and international relations, I have mostly referred to the uh, Mridul Shivhari's notes for polity part, which is approximately 200 pages. It's there on his Telegram channel, and I have just directly followed his notes, and I have made very few value additions to his notes, because his notes itself I found it very much sufficient and useful. And for the governance part, again, I have read Vision's value added material and made my own notes from those value added material. You can do the same, or you can refer to any other toppers notes as well. And for the international relations part, I have directly referred to mains 365 of that particular year. And I have directly read a few important parts that are mostly news, and also mock tests that we write for general studies has helped me with this particular thing. And for general studies, paper three, which comprises of economics and environment and science and tech and internal security. Again, for economics part, I have referred to Niti Aayog's India 75 document, where the topics are clearly defined. I think it's the next IAS material, uh, wherein they have compiled the entire topic in one particular page in a tabular manner, which was very helpful. Like it comprises of data, it comprises of what the government has identified, what various committees have recommended. So I have referred to Niti Aayog India at 75 for the economics part, which also included the infrastructure, roads, railways, and even welfare to some extent, welfare policies and vulnerable sections to some extent. And for agriculture, again, I have made my own notes referring to Vision's value added material and Mridul Shivhare sir's notes. And for science and technology, I have directly referred to mains 365 of that particular year. And for internal security, I have directly referred to Mridul Shivhare sir's notes and made my own notes out of it, and made very few value additions at a later point of time as I was writing more test series. And for general studies paper 4, that is ethics, I have directly referred to only as Prahar. Initially, I have read 3 to 4 books that are available in the market, like Vajiram's Yellow Book, Red Book of Forum IAS. But after reading all of this, I found that only as Prahar material is much more comfortable for me personally, and I've stuck to that directly. And for ethics, what I found very useful was solving the PYQs of last 10 years. From 2013 onwards, I've solved all the case studies as well as the questions twice, like putting the timer according to the particular question and then solving it in a similar to examination setup has helped me with PY, like ethics paper. And the entire mains preparation was also surrounded around analyzing PYQs, because PYQs for mains become even more important because the areas and the dimensions that are being asked tend to repeat to a great extent when it comes to the mains papers, especially GS 1, 2, 3, 4. And at times we see questions being repeated without much changes in the question also. So that is it's very useful to solve PYQs, and also it helps us in getting used to answer writing practice. So what I personally did for answer writing practice was, post my prelims, I have taken the printout of all the from 2013 onwards. I found a PDF in some Telegram channel being posted, where questions are being segregated into the according to the topic, syllabus topic wise, like Indian society questions, then geography questions, modern history questions, and according to the topic. I have taken that particular PDF and I would write all those questions after revising that particular topic. Suppose I have read modern history spectrum, I would just write all the questions that are there from the PYQs from modern history topics, and then I would write it in a timed manner. That is, if it's a 10 marker question, I would write it in 7 minutes, and if it's a 15 marker, I would write it in 11 minutes. And I would suggest that you write at least 10 questions a day, be it a 10 marker question or 15 marker question, so that it helps you get used to writing for 70 minutes straight or 110 minutes straight, because this helps in getting used to answer writing, because we have to write continuously for 3 plus 3 hours on the day of mains for one general studies paper and the other general studies paper. So it's better we practice it on daily basis. Just take 70 minutes of your day and write 10 questions, or 110 minutes of your day and write 10 questions at the end of your day where you don't feel like reading. I personally used to do it at the end of my day. I would write 70 minutes straight, 10 questions. And this is the major part of my answer writing. My major part of answer writing practice was from PYQs only. I've written all the PYQs that were available, all the PYQs from 2013 onwards for all the general studies papers. And apart from this, the mock test that I got enrolled into Forum IAS mock test, and that has helped me, wherein I followed their schedule very strictly. Uh, they put around 12 general studies tests and 4 essay tests. I have written all those tests, and 4 simulation tests at the end, just 1 week or 10 days before the final mains examination. So these are the 20 odd tests that I have written for mains, and I have followed it according to their schedule in a disciplined manner. And they also evaluated in a timely manner. For me personally, I felt it it was very useful for my preparation. And apart from the answer writing and the book list for mains and prelims, sociology is my optional, and I will briefly give my strategy for sociology. And I don't think it's a great strategy because I've secured only 244 marks in sociology. Now, paper one is around 131 marks, and paper two is around 113 marks. And for sociology, the only resource that I have referred to was Essential Sociology by Nitin Sangwan. And I've started my preparation seeing the sleepy classes videos on YouTube, and then reading the topics from Sangwan book, and I didn't refer to any other secondary source. That was a mistake that I have committed. And but what apart from this, what I did for sociology was, again, I have done the PYQ analysis, uh, uh, writing previous year's questions of all the last 10 years according to the topic. Whenever I read a chapter, I would just write the PYQs from that particular chapter. uh, and also I've enrolled myself in sleepy classes test series, which I personally didn't find it very useful, because uh, the number of questions that they put, or the quality of questions, or even the way it's being evaluated was not something that I found it very useful personally. uh, and this is what I have done for sociology. And another important thing I've done for sociology was making note of all the thinkers and their particular books, and their particular separate concepts, or their quotations if there are any, or unique concepts or theories that they have given. And always tried to mention the thinker name, book name, and the year in which it was published, especially for the paper one. For paper two, I have prepared it from Nitin Sangwan, and I felt that like after the result and even during my preparation, I felt that paper two is not sufficiently covered in Nitin Sangwan. And I have seen Datri Reddy's ma'am and Tushar Anshu sir's notes, but because of shortage of time post prelims, I could not read them, or follow them, or use it as a part of my preparation. So one resource that I stuck to was Nitin Sangwan, and I would recommend supplement it with another one or two resources for value addition and improving your score. This is what I have done for my mains. And apart from this, current affairs for mains as such, I have not done it very exclusively for mains, like each topic searching. I have not done this exercise of searching uh, the current affairs or value additions for each topic. I just went ahead with whatever was coming in the test series, and whatever I felt was important in news, I would add it in my short notes that I was preparing for mains. And yeah, apart from this, for essay especially, what I have done was writing the test series that I was enrolled into, that is at forum. And then I would randomly read essay copies of various toppers, and I would make note of the examples that I found were unique or beautiful from those particular essay copies, and I would incorporate it wherever I can. Or what helped me for essay was more reading of the way in which people are writing beautiful essays. So you can refer to essays by various toppers because they are uploaded online by various coaching centers or test series. You can just refer to them and read those essays and see how they are writing the essays and how they are approaching these new abstract or philosophical essays that are coming. And then you can make your own style of writing the essay. And apart from reading toppers essays, another important thing would be for essay, some mentor who would guide you, or some other friend, or a second person who can read your essay from a very neutral point of view and give feedback on that, if it is being written in a fashion which is very much readable, or if it's making sense to the topic that is given. This is very important, what I felt for essay, because we tend to divert from the topic as we tend to write the long essay, and it is important that we stick to the topic that is being given. And this is the brief about my journey for prelims and mains, and sociology for mains again. And apart from this, I have prepared for interview again, like as every other aspirant who goes to the interview stage prepares. That is by peer learning and uh, by focusing upon making analysis of various topics that are taking place in the uh, taking place around us, and also discussions with people that were around me. Like I had a group of friends who were giving interview that I met during the phase of interview, and we would have this discussions every day at the end of our day, 1 or 2 hour discussions on the transcripts that were coming, or else the current happenings, and how we need to answer if a particular question comes. We would ask each other question and see, uh, we would ask each other a question and see how we can answer in a particular situation. Uh, yeah, I'll take a few questions. I think there are a few questions that are there. So yeah, a few mistakes that I felt that should be avoided from what I have seen various other stoppers suggesting, and I personally experienced is taking multiple resources for one particular subject. Like I have always observed every topper saying that take one resource, stick to it, and revise it multiple times instead of taking a new resource. This worked for me for various topics and subjects, but when it comes to ethics, I have done the same mistake of taking 3 to 4 resources and being lost because of that particular fear of missing out on various new dimensions of ethical concepts. So one should not do this particular mistake of taking multiple resources, because we will have limited time to revise before the exam, and we need to have limited resources as well. And apart from this, another mistake is not doing not doing PYQ analysis. That is reading randomly and not focusing upon what will be asked by UPSC or what has been asked by UPSC, and how we should prepare for UPSC. So PYQ analysis also is very important for UPSC, and most of them tend to do it at a very late stage, or not do it at all, but doing it in a very analytical manner, that is focusing on what is being asked and what is likely to be asked, maybe will help us. And also practicing the PYQs, especially for mains, that is being able to write the questions all UPSC has already asked, will help us in increasing our confidence, as also, and also write improve our answer writing skills. And another mistake is not revising what you have read. That is, we tend to read multiple things. That is current. We tend to read multiple current affairs magazines, monthly magazines, or even many other resources, static resources. But if we don't revise it, and if we cannot get 100% accuracy in whatever we are reading, or not having that recall value, then it is a waste of time from my personal experience. Because when we are investing some amount of time in reading a particular resource, we should also be able to make the best use of it, or reproduce it in the exam, in the examination environment. So revising multiple times will help us in this particular reproduction, and uh, applying it in the examination. uh, Yeah, so for the question, why low marks in CSAT paper, why I got low marks in CSAT paper, I would say that I was very arrogant that CSAT is very easy to me, because I have uh, got good percentile in CAT, and I didn't prepare, or I was normally solving the CSAT paper, not focusing upon the number of attempts I was giving during the time of examination. So by the end of the examination, I realized that I didn't do good number of questions as I was giving the OMR sheet, and I've got just 70 marks, and that too I would say I was very fortunate, because 1 or 2 questions would have completely changed the way, that changed my journey itself. Yeah, and the low marks are because I was not very careful during the time of CSET, because of this overconfidence that I was having with CSET. That was the mistake that I have committed. uh, I have told about my CSAT strategy. I have told about my sociology book list also. Uh, So useful government websites I would refer to, like I didn't particularly refer to government websites on daily basis as such, but I would normally search a particular topic from PIB if there's an article that is there, because I felt it more it's more authentic, and also the way information in which information is organized is also something I found it useful. And apart from that, I don't remember referring to government websites on regular basis, or because various current affair magazines or even various notes that are being made in the market are already done referring to multiple resources, and government resources or websites is one such resource. So I felt that personally putting in this effort to search for new resources is something that is of not a good cost benefit, not having good cost benefit ratio. So to the question, if I was working when I was preparing, I was working until May 15 of 2023, and I have then quit after, like I was in the notice period. I was working until May 15 of 2023, and I quit post my prelims. And major part of my preparation was during as I was working, and I personally felt this has benefited me because I was having very short time during the day, and I made the most of that particular time I was having, because I would get these short breaks during the work, or before the work or after the work. The time that I had, I made a clear timetable of what needs to be studied, and I followed it in a very disciplined manner, and that has helped me. Because if I was not working, if I was into full-time preparation, I personally don't think I'm a person who can concentrate uh, for a long number of hours on reading itself. And because I was working, it has helped me, I feel. Yeah, so my revision strategy, what I generally do is I always make a note in my OneNote of everything that I'm doing on a daily basis, that of what I read on a daily basis. That is, if I am reading Polity today, I'll make note of how many hours I took for reading half of the book, or a particular number of topics, and I would make a similar note in the next cycle of revision that I'm doing. So in this particular way, what happens is, for every revision cycle, I make sure that I reduce the number of hours I'm taking to revise that particular topic, and also I make sure that I revise looking at the index at most, wherever index is there. Because if we look at modern history spectrum, or Lakshmikant, or even NCERT for geography, and the PT 365 for all the PT 365s, I make sure that I look at the index, I look at the topic name, and I then try to recall what I have read from that particular topic. Instead of directly jumping into the page, I try to put in efforts to recall what exactly I have read from that particular topic. In this way, I felt that my revision was more fruitful. And when I was doing this particular process, there are few things that I could not recall, and I would just make note of those things that I could not recall in the first instance. So the next time when I'm coming for revision, I would only revise those things I could not recall, and the next time I would try to recall even these particular aspects without any without looking at them. So this is how I generally revised at the end stage of my revision cycles, especially just before the prelims, when we have very short time and when we can't turn and revise every 600 pages of spectrum or Lakshmikant. This is what I generally did, and I personally found it very useful for me. So how to make notes? So to understand how to make notes, we have to first understand how UPSC is asking questions. That is the reason why we have to look at previous year's questions. That is why we have to look at previous year's questions. So what we have to do is, if you look at previous year's questions, like let's say a topic called left-wing extremism, there are few dimensions that questions will be asked. What are the causes for left-wing extremism? Why does it still exist? Or what is the government doing? Or what are the impacts on the society due to left-wing extremism? Or how do we need to solve this particular issue? So these 5 to 6 dimensions are the dimensions on which you have to make notes, and the notes also should be in such a way that it's just one sider or one pager or two pages for a particular topic. And it should be very organized, that there should be causes, effects, steps being taken by the government, way forward. So introduction and conclusion. So it helps us in answer writing as well. So your note should be in the same way that you're going to write your answer. It should have an introduction, it should have the content part, then it should have the conclusion. This will help us in reducing the time during our answer writing, because our introductions and conclusions are pre-prepared, and our content part is also very much pre-prepared. So it will reduce the time and increase our speed and ensure we give out quality answers in our mains. Uh, so how to clear in first attempt? I would say that there are many other who cleared it in the first attempt. We have uh, from our own state, Chandana, who has cleared it in the first attempt, and like Ananya Reddy, who has cleared it in the first attempt. And each one has their own strategy. That is, they find out what is required for the examination. That is, what is being asked. How do they need to approach their particular examination, and they create their own strategy. But I would say that there's also an element of luck, or some other factors that are not in our control. But still, to increase our likelihood of clearing it in the first attempt, there are few qualities that we would need. That is, uh, this particular aspects of being disciplined, making sure that you understand the examination or understand the pattern of questions that are being asked, and making sure that you put consistent efforts to improve in this particular examination process, be it the prelims marks or even the mains test series that you're writing, or the value addition that you're doing for your general studies or even optional. So this is how you can make sure your likelihood of clearing the examination increases in the first attempt. But there are many other uncertain factors as well. Like every other aspirant knows, when it comes to at the stage of interview or on the day of mains, one particular examination might not go well. So this is what I can say about this particular aspect. Uh, So I have not given any other examinations like CAPF, CDS, AFCAT, etc. I have only given UPSC. That too, this is the first attempt that I have given, and I have given Group One of our state, like my state, Telangana. Other than that, I have not given any other examinations. So apart from this, I would say one more important aspect of preparation is having a clear timetable for clearing this particular examination, because you need to plan well ahead, at least 1 year before your prelims, and complete various parts of the examination. That is, you have to be thorough with your prelims and be scoring well in your prelims mock tests, and you have to complete the mains papers like general studies papers and essay paper, uh, at least before the prelims, at least one reading of major sections of it. And you have to definitely complete at least one optional paper, and it is very good if you can complete both the optional papers and also start answer writing before the prelims if you have time. In my case, because I was working, I could not find that particular time of completing paper 2 of sociology and also start answer writing for mains. But it is, if you're into full-time preparation without working, then this is something that is unavoidable. That is, completing all the aspects of the examination before your prelims, and then stepping into the examination being prepared for the next stages as well. That is, if you clear prelims, you should not be in a dilemma, or you shouldn't hesitate to give your 100% for the mains examination, because that's an opportunity that not everyone gets, with the increasing difficulty of general studies, uncertainty, as well as the CSAT being more difficult. So it's better to be prepared and then enter into this particular examination. uh, if there are any other questions, okay. So getting low score in full length prelims test series and how to increase it. So if you're getting low score, then you have to do this particular analysis of, suppose let's say you have attempted 70 questions, and of those 70 questions, 30 questions or 40 questions are those questions, you know it, and are from the static resources. But you have made significant errors or very silly errors, and got an accuracy of 50 percentage, or got an accuracy of 60 to 70 percentage in these 100% sure questions, then that indicates that your revision is poor, or you're being very careless in your in the way in which you are attempting the questions. So you have to analyze your uh, you have to analyze the way in which you are attempting and the scores that you are getting, so that your performance increases. That is identifying those areas where you are getting very less marks, or like, let's say, for me personally, environment was one area where I was always having accuracy of 60 percentage, whereas polity is an area where I was having accuracy of 90 percentage. Geography was hovering around 80 to 90 percentage. So environment is one thing I have to give multiple revisions. I have to, if needed, put in more efforts of reading it multiple times, or trying to remember or recall things, make short notes out of it. So doing analysis post giving your tests, and then working on those areas where you are doing mistakes, is the way in which you can increase your scores, is the way in which you can increase your scores in your prelims test series. Uh, so I was working as a consultant in financial service division of Capgemini. Yeah. So during my working days, my timetable was more or less like this. Like, I try to wake up at around 7 o'clock. I like, one other important thing I forgot to mention was uh, I was working in a hybrid mode where only 2 days I had to go to the office, and the other 3 days I could stay at home. This worked very much highly in my favor, because I reduced a lot on the travel timing that I had to put to reach to office, and also the time waste that takes place if we visit the office. That is the socialization aspects. So I was getting a solid 3 hours of time if whenever on the days I was working from home, because I was not traveling at all. So these 3 hours I would plan it well ahead, that I would read bulky topics, or those topics that I haven't read at all in these 3 hours. That is 1.5 hour in the morning and 1.5 hour in the evening. And apart from this, I would also get time post my work. I would complete off my calls with clients by 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. and then I would not have any work, and I would study until 1 a.m. or 12 a.m. in the night. So I always made sure that I pulled out 7 to 8 hours at least on daily basis, and even more on weekly basis, on weekends when I was working. So this helped me to, to prepare, or to give in this at least some amount of time that another aspirant who is into full-time preparation is giving. So for the question of even after preparing it feels inadequate or unprepared for mains, what you should do is you should restrict yourself to some area, that is to PYQs and syllabus. Looking at syllabus copies, like syllabus topics and then PYQs, will make you very confident of your preparation, because UPSC to a great extent sticks to the syllabus when it comes to mains, except for 2 to 3 questions in each paper where it might be very shocking to every other aspirant. The other 17 to 18 questions are very much syllabus based, or the topics directly mentioned in the syllabus. So uh, having a grip over the syllabus and the topics or the subheadings that are mentioned in the syllabus, and having well prepared short notes on those particular syllabus topics, will make it be more uh, it will make it more comfortable for you with the level of preparation you are doing, instead of being worried about those 2 to 3 questions that are coming out from somewhere, which makes you feel that your preparation is inadequate, be it mock test series or even the final UPSC examination. Always make your comfortable areas or easy areas more strong than others, so that you score well than others in those areas, and medium or even poor in the areas where everyone else is scoring medium or poor. That will make you average out with the score, and you will do well when compared to others. Okay. So for these last 40 days of prelims, what I would recommend is uh, divide it into, like, remove the last 7 days of the prelims, and then consider you have 33 days of 33 days left apart from these 7 days for revision. What you should do is you should give mock tests on like at least 7 to 8 mock tests, space it according to your plan. Make sure you revise all the subjects at least twice, considering polity takes 1 day, geography takes 1 day, environment takes 1 day. I am assuming that you are at a level of preparation where revising these subjects takes 1 or 2 days for you. Let's take, if it takes 2 days also, then you can revise all these subjects twice in these 33 days and give mock tests as well, at like full length mock tests of at least 7 to 8 mock tests as I've suggested, and then making sure that you revise these mock tests. You revise your static part and static resources, and revise your current affair magazines that you're reading, and also make sure the last 7 days you revise everything that you have done in these 33 days in a very perfect manner. That is all the 7 to 8 mock tests that you have given. I would suggest give more, at least 10 mock tests if possible, like every 3 days, one mock test, because you get into that examination mode. And also, mock test is a way of revising things because you tend to answer questions that you have already read. So that will also help you. And yeah, the last 7 days you should revise what you have done in these 33 days, and then give your best on the last date. This is what I can say you should be doing in the last 40 days for prelims. So for remembering stuff but not being able to translate in proper English, so to improve your uh, uh, to put in your ideas on paper in a better English, or in English in an effective manner, what you can do is do more practice of things. Like, don't put a timer in the initial days. Try to write the best you can after reading, and then put a timer and gradually improve your skill. That will help you in making sure that you improve the way in which you're communicating your ideas or putting it on paper. I have not joined any mentorship program for prelims or even mains. I have only given mock tests for interviews in various coaching institutions, or various online mock interviews that were going on at the final stage. Other than that, I was not associated with any other institute for mentorship support or classroom programs. Uh, for prelims, I have followed Vision IAS test series. That is even the sectional test as well as the full length test. And for from Forum IAS, I have followed only the full length tests, like F0 to F8, or some 8 to 10 tests that they put. I have followed those tests. Yeah. So apart from this, I think I have addressed a majority of those areas which are need to be addressed. Like, if you have any other questions, you can just post it over here. Uh, Even I am not sure of. I have not seen Vision's classroom material. I have only seen their value-added notes somewhere online. So I'm not exactly sure of what is the difference between value-added notes and uh, the classroom material that Vision gives. Yeah, newspaper. If I have to say about newspaper, I have not read newspaper directly during my prelims or main stage, but I would read articles from a channel called VKIAS. It's a Telegram channel where news articles on daily basis are posted from various newspapers. I would read it on daily basis, but not read newspaper as such. But I would make sure that I saw editorial analysis of everyday news. Back then it was done by Harshit Dwivedi. I would follow his channel and his editorial analysis every day on regular basis. At a later point of time, I started following only IAS daily discussions. Other than this, I have started reading 3 to 4 newspapers only at the stage of interview, because that was a stage where I felt really reading newspaper is very important, and it was during these last 4 months, like from the month of December until March. I was reading newspapers. Prior to that, I was not reading newspaper as such, but I was making sure I was reading articles and I was keeping myself aware of what was happening, and also listening to editorial discussions that were taking place on YouTube, so that I am more aware of the things and not completely lost from what is happening around. Uh, Current affairs part, I would say I have already addressed the issues of current affairs. That is focusing upon monthly magazines and then sticking to PT 365 and revising PT 365 multiple times is another thing. Yeah, I have posted most of my notes on my Telegram channel, and also the OneNote that I have prepared, which comprises of my yearly plan, like entire 2022, what I have done in 2023 until mains, what I have done on daily basis, and also how my revision cycles are planned. And I have posted the link on my Telegram channel. I'll repost it again as well. And also, I'm slowly uploading the short notes that I have made during different stages of preparation, referring to various notes of toppers and various value-added materials that are available online. Uh, so I'll upload them on my Telegram channel. My Telegram channel is with my name itself, Kaushik Merugu Air 82. You can find it uh, on the Telegram itself. And apart from this, I don't think there are many other questions. This is it. And I'll have to say that apart from the preparation part, I think we have to stay consistent with what we are doing. And also, there are other uncertain factors in this examination, but being consistent make sure that we are confident with our preparation and helps us give a better performance in the examination. That is what I can say. And uh, so, tips for CSAT CSE 24. Okay. Uh, CSAT, I would say, considering the last year papers difficulty, it's very important we solve many more number of mock tests, at least to a stage where yeah, see, for CSAT, what you need to do is you need to solve a number of mock tests and also do the basics properly. Like reading comprehension is something we can do it. In similar way, the aptitude part, you have just do the basics properly and solve the mock test and make sure that you reach to a stage where you are scoring at least 90 to 100 marks in CSAT comfortably in those 2 hours. And after that, you can stop giving mock tests and just give a mock test just a week before the examination and revise basic shortcuts or any other notes that you have made for CSAT. Other than that, I would not suggest anything more for CSAT personally. Essay strategy, I have discussed my essay strategy. My essay strategy was reading essays of toppers and then writing mock tests on essays, and also improving on the feedback that was given by my evaluator at the test series that I was enrolled into, and also asking my friends to read essay and how they feel as a person when they read essay. And I would read my essay and critically try to evaluate it if I have made sure that I was sticking to the topic, or if uh, I have diverted from the topic. And making sure sticking to the topic is very important in the essay. So to increase your reading speed and reading comprehension, one can do newspaper reading or editorial reading. That is the best way one needs to go ahead, because even for CAT, uh, I have I used to do the same thing. That is, I would randomly read newspaper articles online of various newspaper no topic as such, but just read an English article to increase the reading speed. That's the best thing one can do. And if you have the habit of book reading, you can do that as well. NCRTs, I have not read any NCRT apart from geography NCRT for prelims. And the law excellence ready reckoner is nothing but short notes made out of NCRTs of ancient history and art and culture. And other than this, I have not referred to any other NCRT. Uh, so my interview experience was I had my interview on March 4th, and it was Dinesh Dasa sir's board. And my interview experience was mostly around questions coming around my DAF. That is, questions were from sociology, questions were from civil engineering stream questions were from foreign trade because I was from a trade college and my MBA is in international business. And then questions were from hobbies, that is my areas of interest, and questions were from my work experience and peripherals of work experience because I was into financial services. Questions then drifted to insurance areas and insurance schemes of Telangana government, and then a brief discussion about public sector enterprises and the relevance of public sector enterprise in the current phase. Other than this, it was mostly DAF based interview, and mostly about the things that I have done in my life. So, so I always scored more than 100 when I was solving my prelims mock tests, and I would make sure I made an Excel sheet and make a note of every mock that I was giving and the accuracy that I was maintaining in that particular mock. And also, I made sure that I made a graph out of the test series, and I ensured that there was consistent improvement in the marks or accuracy that I was solving. I'll also paste the Excel in my Telegram channel so that you understand how you can analyze your own mock tests that you give. So yeah, thanks for this interactive session. And if there are any other doubts, you can reach out to me. Yeah, one last question. टॉपर्स कॉपी से एग्जांपल्स एज इट इज कॉपी कर सकते हैं. Yeah, you can copy examples from toppers copies. If it is general studies that you are speaking about, then you can definitely take examples and use it in the relevant area and not randomly wherever you would feel like doing it. When it comes to essay, again, the relevance and the context in which you are using the examples becomes important, and it shouldn't be like you just try to forcefully put in the fit in the example that you have picked up from some topper because you felt it beautiful, but it should be very much relevant to the context of what you are writing. So one last question that I'll be taking up is Plan B. I personally had Plan B because I have done my MBA and I've also worked for 1 year, and I considered that I'll give 1 to 2 years of preparation without job seriously, uh, and see that if I'm able to clear, that is fine. If not, I'll pick up a job and then I'll pick up a job and then prepare along with the job, because I felt that having a plan B personally was very much stress reliever kind of thing, because I have something to fall back onto. But it might be different for different people. Some might not need a plan B, some might not really need to work, but for some others it might be very much relevant to work. uh, it's a very personal thing, is what I feel. But I had a plan B of falling back onto my professional experience. Yeah, so thank you for this interactive session. And if there are any other questions, and if you want to read about my book list, you can refer to the Telegram channel, or else my book list is most similar to any other topper. And for mains, it might vary a little. And I have uploaded my mains notes on the Telegram channel. And apart from this, uh, yeah, thank you for this interactive session. And any other doubts, you can reach out to me through the Telegram channel. Yeah.